Hello again. In this short video, we're going to look at what to do when you get stuck in a problem. Now, there's actually two situations where you can get stuck in a problem. One in your normal everyday study and the other in an exam. So we're going to take those separately. Now, the everyday study one is quite an easy one. Quite often, well, hopefully not too often, but now and again you'll come across problems that you just can't get your head around. You've been sitting there. If you're anything like me, I used to end up throwing the calculator across the room and stomping around and swearing at myself and so on. You lose your temper. You might even find yourself beginning to doubt yourself and thinking, I can't do this, it's beyond me. What do you do when you get into that sort of situation? You're working on a problem, you're getting nowhere with it. Well, the best advice is give up. That might sound like bad advice, but believe me, it's the best advice. And I'll explain why. You give up for the time being. You don't give up permanently, obviously. You give up and you take a break. And you go away and you do something else and you come back. You come back half an hour later, maybe later that evening or the next day, or it might be a couple of days later. And then you have another go at the problem. If you're still stuck on it, you might have to give up again and have another break. Now, this is based on fairly well-known research. It's sometimes referred to as the aha principle or the eureka principle. Now, you've probably heard the story at some point about Archimedes and the difficult problem that he had to solve. We mentioned this in one of the other videos that we do. Archimedes had this difficult problem to solve. He couldn't solve it. I'm not going to go into the details of what the problem is just now, but one night he was getting into his bath. He wasn't thinking about the problem, but as he sat down in the bath, the water flowed over the side and suddenly it came to him, the solution. Now, the reason why it came to him is because despite the fact he wasn't consciously thinking about the problem, he was subconsciously. It was still working away inside his head. Now, I've experienced this aha or eureka many times over the years, and it's quite wonderful when you do experience it, because suddenly it's like a light coming on in your head and you see the solution to the problem. A few years back I was sitting having a nice casual drink in the front garden with some friends of mine, and we were going round talking to each other about what are you doing just now, and it came to my turn and I said, well, I've been stuck in a maths problem for the last 2 days. And my good friend said to me, what, are you thick? So I rhymed off the maths problem, and he looked rather puzzled because it was way beyond anything he could do. So I got one back. But the funny thing was, I went back that night and I got to my desk and I sat down and I lifted up a pen and the answer was there right away. Okay? So I wasn't thinking about it, but it came to me. So that's what to try out and see if it works for you. I'm pretty sure it will. Now, the second place where you might find this happening is in an exam. And you find yourself stuck in a problem for two reasons. The main reason is because the problem may be something you haven't quite encountered before. That's particularly common in certain types of exams like maths and physics and so on, where they throw a problem at you which uses stuff that you've learned, but in a context that you're not familiar with. And you've got to try and get your head around the context in order to see what tools you're going to use to solve it. So that's the first step. The second step as to why you might be having difficulty with it is that you're nervous and that you're already on the edge and you're already not in a good problem-solving state. Okay? So what do you do when you come across a problem like that in an exam? Well, the easiest answer is leave it. Go on and do the questions that you can do, and then come back to that one later on when you've got time. We'll speak about this in the next video, which is how to do an exam.